And welcome to Just for Clicks, guys. I am Michael Buckhouse, and this is live, raw, and uncut sports talk. Coming to you guys a little bit later today. Decided to sleep in just a tad bit, but apparently it was the wrong thing to do because I got some tweets saying, "Hey man, are you dead? Like, are you alive? Are you going to do a show today?" Yeah, I am going to do a show today, guys, and I'm not dead. I am alive. I'm here live in the flesh. So welcome to the show. There has been things that have been going around in the last week. You know, I was obviously the NBA free agency, and Kawhi Leonard is definitely the talk of the town. And basically, there have been three teams in the race pretty much the whole time. It's been the Toronto Raptors, Clippers, and the Lakers. I deep down really thought that it was going to end up as a dark horse team, a unexpected team, I guess you can say, in the New York Knicks. And Kawhi was on Twitter. I don't know if it was Kawhi on Twitter or somebody reported on Twitter last night that Kawhi has canceled his meeting with the Knicks. Did you guys know he had a meeting set up with the Knicks? Did the next person have? Nobody knew that was even a thing. When I was saying there was going to be a dark horse, I really thought like that was true because of the whole Jimmy Butler thing. A couple other teams, pick up some really good name players and weren't even in the conversations. The so-called ESPN experts, the CBS analysts, and like all that stuff. All like they were dark horses. So I was going to say, it wouldn't surprise me if something like this happened. And the New York Knicks, they missed out on KD, they missed out on Kyrie. So the next possible solution is go after a team-changing superstar, a two-time NBA Finals MVP, a two-time world champion in Kawhi Leonard. What other way to boost your team, boost your free agency this offseason than to add a talent like Kawhi? So I basically what it's coming down to is we are hearing reports now that from Jalen Rose, an NBA analyst out there on ESPN show called The Jump. I'm not for sure if he's still on there. I believe he got fired. But he said he is 99% sure that Kawhi will sign with Toronto again, a 2-year deal. Which if you guys listen to the Marcus and Mike show, this is exactly what Marcus Valmadino said about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. He said this was exactly what would happen. He would sign with Toronto a two-year deal with the second year being a player option. They're going to turn it around and run it again. So the question is going to arise here is what does this mean for the other teams if Kawhi signs with the Raptors, if Kawhi signs with the Lakers, if Kawhi signs with the Clippers? Kawhi Leonard is the balance of power in the NBA right now. Whatever team he decides to go to, they are in championship contention. It could be the Memphis Grizzlies. It could be the Minnesota Timberwolves. It could be the New York Knicks. It could be the Raptors. It could be the Clippers. No matter where he goes, he is in the prime of his career. He is doing great things. 2-time Finals MVP. He's shown he can put a team on his back. He is the balance of power in the NBA. Mark my words, guys. Right here today, July 4th, 2019. What time is it? It's 8:57 a.m. on the East Coast. Wherever Kawhi Leonard goes this year, his team will be in the NBA Finals. Mark my words, guys. So if he ends up in New York, NBA Finals, ends up in Toronto, NBA Finals. I'm not saying that they win a championship, but I'm saying they're going to the NBA Finals. So, what does this mean for the NBA? You don't want Kawhi to go to the LA Lakers. If he goes to LA, teams up with AD and LeBron, you can basically circle them into the championship just like you did with the Golden State Warriors a couple years ago. They're a guaranteed lock there. If he goes somewhere like Toronto, or the Clippers, or the Knicks, the Grizzlies, the Timberwolves, the Bulls, there is a 12 to 15 team race, guys, that anybody could win. I would still give the favorite to the team that Kawhi goes to, if it's the Toronto or Clippers or even the Knicks. I do like the Knicks' young nucleus that they have there with my boy Knox and R.J. Barrett. They signed a couple other players. They've been more active in free agency than most people think. Yeah, they struck out on KD and Kyrie, but they signed 3 or 4 pretty good young pieces to that team. They're not going to be a playoff team this year, but the year after that, they could be pretty damn good. It just depends on how much Kevin Knox grows this season, how much R.J. Barrett grows this season, of how good they'll be. They could sneak into an 8 seed, but I don't see them making too much noise. The East is pretty top heavy. Those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seeds are pretty damn good. You got Milwaukee, you got Toronto still. You had the Pacers. Don't sleep on my Pacers, man. They are going to be pretty good. Look for them to slide into that 4 seed this year. You have Philadelphia still. You have Atlanta up and coming. Atlanta's going to be a playoff team, guys. They're going to be a 5 or 6 seed going into the playoffs this year. The East is getting better, so that's the only downfall for the Knicks right now. But if you had a talent like Kawhi Leonard, you were in the playoffs 100%. He has that LeBron effect. But nonetheless, people, Kawhi Watch 2019, hashtag that. This is the most exciting offseason I guess we've had in a long time. I do not anticipate us finding out something this week. I've done a couple podcasts here where I think Kawhi Leonard is kind of handcuffing not the Raptors, not the Clippers, but the Lakers. He is definitely handcuffing the Lakers. So I don't know what kind of person he really truly is, but if he got a bad vibe for the Lakers, him holding it out is kind of sticking it to them a little bit. Like, hey, you guys are waiting to sign me, so all these other key pieces that you need, they're slowly getting picked up. J.J. Redick got traded to the Pelicans, or picked up by the Pelicans. I should say Kemba Walker to the Celtics. You have Rondo still waiting in the wings. You have Boogie Cousins that was reportedly going to Golden State Warriors. Now you don't know what he is doing. Lakers could use him. There are so many pieces that the Lakers are starting to lose out right now because of the Kawhi Leonard situation. I don't anticipate something happening today. Although he is in Canada, I believe he landed yesterday. There was those Kawhi Watch 2019 there. They had the helicopters flying around and all that good stuff. It was like back when OJ was running down the highway doing 30 miles an hour. Like it was that kind of excitement happening. I was just a little kid when that happened. I vaguely saw it, but I mean, everybody was tuned into CNN or ABC watching the slow speed, high speed chase. So it was good times. So there's everybody tuned in to watch this Kawhi Watch 2019 as well. But nonetheless, I just want to say that Kawhi is the balance of the NBA right now. If you don't believe that, you're a goddamn liar. All right, guys. So let's totally switch gears here. Let's switch to the amateur gridiron here. Kansas State University football. Last year, Bill Snyder has officially retired for the second time, and Kansas State hired a very great coach in Chris Klieman. He is a former North Dakota State coach, led them to 3 or 4 national championships, I believe, in a row. I'm not for sure on the a row part, but I know he at least won 2 or 3 in a row. He actually brought his North Dakota State team down to Manhattan, Kansas, and whooped up on Kansas State just a couple years ago. I'm not really here to talk about his past success or his future success. I am here to talk to the fans here, the fans of my Kansas State Wildcats. For those of you guys that don't know, I'm born and raised a Kansas State Wildcat. I will bleed purple till the day I die. Yes, I am a UK fan as well, married into it, so I have to support my wife. And you know what? Kentucky basketball is fun to watch. So if you guys, ever marry into a family where they're huge, Ohio State fans, huge Michigan fans. You are going to support your spouse, and you know what? I've come to become a blue blood, like a little bit, as people say around here. But push comes to shove, I am a Kansas State fan. When Kansas State plays UK in basketball like they did last year in the NCAA tournament, I was wearing my purple. I ain't gonna lie. I love my Cats. So with that being said, guys, Kansas State football fans, you guys need to have realistic expectations for Chris Kilman coming up. We all remember when Bill Snyder retired the first year. I believe it was 2004, I believe it was. I was a high school athlete being recruited, and my dream was to always go to Kansas State and play there. But when Snyder retired, I was like, you know what? I really don't want to go there. Forget the guy's name now. Prince was his name. I can't remember his first name, but Prince was the coach. And we as fans had unrealistic expectations for him. I believe his first year he went like 8-5 or something to that effect. These are all stats that I have not looked up. This is going off memory here. And he had a quarterback by the name of Josh Freeman that did that year. Actually, this may have been 2003. They did pretty good things. And then, they kind of tapered off. We were an average 500 ball club, maybe 600 ball club, and fans were up in arms. Oh, we want Bill Snyder back. We want Bill Snyder back. We want this, and this, and this, and this. Yes, Bill Snyder did single-handedly turn around Kansas State football. He built Manhattan, Kansas. He built the highway coming into town, a.k.a. Bill Snyder Freeway. Nonetheless, Prince was there for 3 or 4 years, and the fans pretty much wanted him out. Bill Snyder came back, had a couple good years, let's be honest, has been mediocre ever since. The last 4 years, mediocrity. We are happy with Bill Snyder being on the sideline. We're happy with getting 7 wins a year. Finally, a couple years ago, he got the throat cancer. We all thought he was done. He came back for another year, another mediocre season. Then he signs like a 4-year extension. I was pissed. I did a podcast on this direct podcast right here on Just for Clicks that Bill Snyder needed to retire. I believe we signed him another 4-year deal to extend him to 2023 or something to that effect. Something ridiculous. And then a couple months later, he decides to retire, and we hire Chris Kilman. Great pickup. But fans do not have unrealistic expectations for this guy. Let this guy build what he can do, like he did in North Dakota State. He built that program from the ground up. Let him do the same thing here in Manhattan, Kansas. Let him do things his way. Do not put pressure on him in the first 3 years to be a BCS champion. Kansas State has never won a national championship. I believe the last really good bowl game we went to was the Cotton Bowl a couple years ago. When I say a couple years ago, that's like 5 or 6 years ago. We've done shit since then, guys. We are a 7-win team, year in and year out. We are happy with mediocrity as long as Bill Snyder is on the sideline. But as soon as Bill Snyder is not on the sideline and we are a mediocre team, you guys are up in arms saying, fire this guy, fire this guy. Do not do this to Chris Kilman. Do not. Let him build his program. Let him put his foot firmly in the ground in Manhattan, Kansas, and do what the fuck he does. Chris Kilman, good luck this year, man. Shout out to you.